The definition. Before go to definition, let me proceed with what is the difference between investigation, audit, and research. Research, the core objective of research is it should benefit society. It should benefit the society. Investigation, it may be for certain object in view. Say for example, some murder case. It is conducted for several years. Nirbhaya case, say for example, you can take as example Nirbhaya case. It may take 3 years, 5 years, 7 years. On behalf of the outsiders, the investigation done. Audit, it is just for find out whether the balance sheet is properly drawn up and exhibit true and fair view of the state of affairs of a concern. It relates to 1 year. It conduct on behalf of the proprietor. So in the investigation, just for object in view, audit for on behalf of the proprietor, whether it is rightly drawn up. Research is meant for benefit to the society. Okay, now let's see the definition of research. Research is a systematized effort to gain new knowledge. Research, the word itself, it gives the meaning research. It must have systematized effort. The purpose is you are getting a new knowledge. So Redmond, Mori, a simple definition. There are numerous definitions available. Have given a simple definition, that is, research is a systematized effort to gain new knowledge, and it must have. Look at this second definition. It's given by Mori. It must have organized inquiry, design and carry out to provide information for solving a problem. Whatever thing you can take, might be a production, HR or marketing, finance, you can take a problem, you designed, organized way, systematic way, and give some information. Final thing is you have to solve the problem, and also it should benefit the society. So definition of research. Now let us proceed with two simple definition. Research is a systematized effort to gain new knowledge, given by Redman and Mori. An organized inquiry, design and carry out to provide information for solving a problem. Now let's see how this business research definition means. Business research, we know that the planning, organizing, collection, there are basic things involved in business. Now in research, it's a collection, it's a planning, collection, analysis of data relevant to business decision making, communication the result of this analysis to management. So there are some words are very important. You have to plan, you have to collect information, analyze the information. Finally, it helps for decision making. You have to communicate this result to the management. So core word all are planning, collection and analysis of data relevant to business decision making, right? And the second part is communication of result of this analysis to management. So it is given by McDaniel and Gates. It is a definition of business research. Now the next slide, it moves to some jargons are used in research. There is a word called epistemology, research method and methodology. Epistemology, the word is a bigger one, it's a bit jargon word, but the meaning is very simple. Theory of knowledge. Theory of knowledge called epistemology. Research method. Research method means technique of gathering evidence. You may collect through a direct interview or mail or through observation. You can collect evidence in various forms. Through observation, interview, or through inquiry, survey, you can collect data. Techniques of gathering evidence. Ways of proceeding information called research method. Research methodology. Methodology, it is the underlying theory and analysis of how research does or should proceed. It is often influenced by discipline. So it is a theory and analysis of how research does and should proceed. It is follows books. There are some informations available in some discipline, social science research and other discipline we have to follow. So epistemology, theory of knowledge, method, technique of gathering evidence, methodology, theory and analysis of how research does or should proceed. Are you clear? Let's see the next slide about qualities of good research. qualities of research. What are the basic things are necessary? Now, the first thing is systematic. So the procedure adopted to undertake an investigation follows certain logical sequence. You remember? Systematic follow logical sequence. Yes. Systematic sequence. Just recall the word. It's adopted to undertake an investigation follow certain logical sequence. First quality, and second quality followed by logical. It must have logical cause and effect relationship. It is important to be able to think the effect with the cause and its result. So cause and effect result relationship comes under logical. Empirical, the word means it's a evidence-based, data-based. Conclusion drawn or based on hard evidence gathered from information collected from real life experience. Rigorous means whatever questions you are framing, it should be relevant, appropriate, and justified. It must suit your title. Relevant, appropriate, and justified. So, the procedure followed to find answer to question are relevant, appropriate, and justified, valid, and verifiable. Whatever you conclude on the basis of your finding is correct, and it can be verified by you and others. Your guide, college guide or company guide may verify your documents. And the last one is able to withstand critical scrutiny. Finally, in our colleges, they conduct Viva Voice, no? Viva Voice, you must able to answer all the questions. It must be foolproof and free from drawbacks. So the process adopted and the procedure used must be able to withstand critical scrutiny. It's nothing but Viva. You must able to withstand Viva. These are the 6 basic things. If you do foolproof, free from drawback, you can withstand critical scrutiny. Now, let us go with the next title, Criteria of Good Research. Criteria of good research. Criteria. The first, there are 9 basic criteria. Purpose clearly defined. Whatever research you are taking, it should have some objective purpose. Next, a research process. It has sequence of process from problem identification to report writing. It has sequence of process. You have to detail your process. And research design thoroughly planned. Research design means it is a blueprint of your research. Like architect who have, the engineer who have a plan in his hand. The same way researcher must have a plan in his hand. Architect, like an architect, it's a blueprint of your research. It is called research design. So clearly you must define in what way you are collecting detail, what analysis you are going to proceed, what are the hypotheses you used, how you are going to give interpretation. Everything in a detailed way. Blueprint of your research is called research design. Next is you must have a high ethical standard, free from bias. Honesty, you have to upload all the data. Limitation, frankly revealed all the limitations, how many sample you have taken, which area you have taken, everything you have to give clearly, reveal the limitation. You must use adequate analysis. You have to use parametric, non-parametric, trend projection, whatever analysis needed, you have to use as many as analysis and use hypothesis. Okay, and finding presented clearly, unambiguously means here clearly you have to present your finding without any biasness. You have to present honestly, you present your findings, conclusion justified with your title and objective. Researchers experience the overall research. It is like a new baby. The overall research, it is your baby. Your title, your objective, and your question should be properly matched without any research gap. It should reflect your researcher's experience. So, criteria of good research, basically 9 points. Now, let us see what is the scope significant need or importance of research? This is a very, very important question. This is a very important thing. Now, it has broadly 5 main points. Identifying problems and opportunity. Organization must determine where it wants to go, how it will go there. Second one is diagnosing the problem or opportunity. If there is a problem, need to specify what happened and why, what opportunity exists, and they may need to explore, refine, and clarify the nature of opportunity. And the third one is selecting and implementing course of action. Alternative course of action. Business research often conducted to obtain specific information. And the fourth one is evaluating course of action. Manager may use evaluation research to provide feedbacks and controlling of strategy and tactics. It does look like a decision making steps. These are the prime point, 4 points. The end of the result is it helps for decision making. Just recall business research definition. Whatever you are collecting, analyzing data, communicate the decision making to the management. The end result is decision making. Let's see how it helps for the decision making in the next slide. I told no research for decision making. The first prime point is identifying the problem, diagnosing problem, selecting and implementing course of action, evaluating course of action. Everything together, it helps for decision making. Now let's see how this decision making helpful in business. I'm going to narrow down. You have to see inside, the focus point. It throws lights on risk and uncertainty. These are the areas, the risks are there. How to solve this risk in finance? It helps. Identify alternative course of action in all the ways. Planning, everything. Resource utilization, it helps for alternative course. It helps in economic use of resource, project identification, and solve investment, pricing, and relocation problem, decision making issues in HR. To whom to give promotion, whether highly educated or senior person. It's all the problem will be solved through the research. It's help for operational and planning problem. It help for government policies. Let's go for the next slide. Next slide. To whom it benefits? To whom it benefits? For social scientists studying social relationship in seeking answer to various social problem. We are all social scientists. For HR, marketing, finance, operations, we are all social scientists. We are taking a problem and finding some answer for the social problem. For students, for their job, for getting pass in the subject, for their job. If you are joined as a marketing executive, if you are collecting data from your client and submitting result to the management, they will be happy. You will get visibility at all level. And for the professionals, it is a source of livelihood. It is for their livelihood. For philosophers and thinkers, they'll give new ideas and insights. For literary men and women, for developing new style, even the English literature, Tamil literature, they are using this research for new styles and creative works. For the intellectual, for generalization of new theory. Ma'am, what is a generalization? Commonly saying all students are brilliant, new generations are brilliant. Generalization is whatever it is, commonly saying words. All nowadays the new generation groups are very brilliant. Working mothers are highly balancing. I'm generally talking, that is generalization. The end result is you are generalizing the information. So for analyst and intellectual, research means generalization of new theory. You are finding a new theory. So business research, it helpful to various sectors. Let us go with a small recap of today's session. Research, it's a systematized effort to gain new knowledge. As I said, it is research means it has different systematic effort. So you have to plan accordingly. Epistemology is a theory of knowledge, method, technique of gathering evidence, methodology, how research does or should proceed. It often influenced by discipline. Research has six basic quality. The end of the result is you have to be able to withstand critical scrutiny. That is why scope of research. Scope of research, it is more or less relevant to decision making steps. Identifying the problem, diagnosing, implementing, finally evaluate the course of action. It helps for many people in the society, and it finally helps for decision making. Thank you all.